In this episode, I'm still in Le Fer Bleu Marina together with Kylie. We do some boat work but also have time to some fun. And I'm sharing how I tie up alongside in difficult conditions. Lots of things has changed since last time I was here in Granada. There was no COVID restrictions and we were a bunch of fun people having a great time together. Of course, the entire experience will be totally different when bars and restaurants are closed and even gatherings like this is illegal.
You can do it!
And this time, even the weekends was shut down, with no movement as Kylie and I moved out to Fort Judy. But we still managed to enjoy our time with lots of fun. We moved to a resort marina to ease our no movement weekend experience, which we believe was a smart move. And now things is just getting better as the no movement weekends are over.
Ugly copies.
Oh, sorry. It's like I'm embarrassed. No, it had chocolate, like this chocolate kind of superfood smoothie, and I just had it left over and poured the coffee in.
The last week have been a bit windy, and the bay I'm located at now is at the Atlantic side of Granada. So as you can see, it's a bit choppy, but less than I expected it to be when helping a friend to move a boat out and around to another location.
So we're moving a boat from Le Fer Bleu. Yeah. Where are we going, Kim?
We're just going there and back to see how far it is, Thomas.
South Africa.
Oh yeah, let's go.
A stop at St. Helena.
One stop St. Helena, then home.
Oh,
For me, not for you.
that's hardcore.
I'm always happy to help other sailors, as it's how it's supposed to be. And in this case, it's an excellent excuse to get away from my own boat works and get out there. Fortunately, we don't have any time for sailing today, as we are just gonna move this boat fast between the reefs and around the tiny island into the neighbor bay. It's really calm here now, however the last week's weather made it pretty rough hanging here as well. And being tied down alongside to a dock may look easy, but that's not always the case. This is a concrete dock, which means it doesn't move at all. However, close to 1 meter difference in tide water demands you also to put this into your equation for how to tie up your boat. And to not stress the cleats unnecessary, wind gusts, squalls, currents, waves and tide is all factors making this spot a bit challenging for being tied up alongside. So I thought it could be nice to share how I solved this specific challenge here. To keep my boat in position, I used long strong ropes from midship to each direction as this. It could be tempting to use ropes illustrated red here to keep my boat close to the dock, but cleats and the ropes would snap pretty fast and I could soon find myself in a situation. Here I need much more flex and allowing big movement up and down, but at the same time compensate for the wind and make it possible for me to enter my boat. Adding rubber suspensions to extra long ropes that's keeping me closer to the dock is how I choose to do it in this case. It avoids the brutal shocks to the cleats, but also makes it more quiet and comfortable on board. Luckily I have very sweet and understanding neighbors, accepting my setup, otherwise I would have to move. Because it was predicted to be quite gusty, I added these black ropes with great slack, just as an extra safety. And finally the weather came down. I could start cuddling with my boat while Kylie is busy on her projects.
A stunning looking Veneto 49.
Kylie and I are sharing the love for our boats, and both of us work hard to have our boats looking good at all time. To the both of us, being in a marina means we want to take advantage of either doing upgrades like Kylie is doing or just plain cuddling with my boat as I am doing right now. A bit embarrassing to show you this, but it's how fast things looks bad in tropical climate if you don't pay attention. My backup dinghy have been sitting here hiding the progress for me. This is one of the reasons I want to remove everything that's unnecessary, trying to have a clean and tidy boat. So I just sold my backup dinghy as it's too small for my 15 horsepower and not been used last 3 years. This kind of work is so rewarding as it's so fast and gives such a great result in no time. I believe I've said this many times, but it's still the truth. How a boat up here is all in the details. It's definitely getting there. I once heard that a yacht aged 5 times faster in the tropics compared to home in Northern Europe. And I could not agree more. That's why it's quite hard work to stay on top of everything, slowing down the aging process. This has been such a great reminder of not gathering things on board that's not being used. I have never been a big fan of having tons of things on deck. Not only does it make cleaning harder, but it also looks like a garage sale. It's so much fun to do here, and we do take the advantage of it. We have access to a nice bar and the restaurant's takeaway, when we are not cooking for each other. Earlier episode I showed you my very sophisticated and accurate dinner planner. Somehow the hardware side of this never fails, but now it was time for a new software upgrade.
Why are you cooking in my boat?
Because I have a washer dryer in the middle of my boat and just stuff everywhere. Boat refits. Ugh. Not my favourite.
So what's for dinner?
So I've made this salad, which is fresh local organic lettuce, fresh tomatoes, avocado and burrata cheese and some herbs like basil. And then I've got these sausages from Meat Market, which are mild Italian sausages. So they're big and chunky, so they should be quite good.
Nice.
And as a starter, I made a classic from the 70s that's starting to come back again after being almost extinguished mid-90s.
Product here.
I should probably make it look a bit more presented. Alright, put this.
Next morning, a sailor in this marina needed medical attention. Still having our rental car here, of course, I wanted to help out as much as I can. This is supposed to be the best hospital in Grenada, and even being far from close to Norwegian standard, I'm still thankful for what they did for me when I ended up here. Last year I had a serious round of dengue fever. Luckily I recovered fast and could leave in good condition. After being at the hospital with my friend, I drove back and made a few stops to look at this amazing view, and also to check out the old fortress up here. In the background you can see Port Louis Marina, and the big building closer on the hill is the island's prison. But I'm here to check out Fort Matthew. I have always been fascinated about the architecture and cultural monuments like this, even if the history sometimes can be not only dark and brutal, but also tragical as one of the stories from here. This place has also been used as a prison and even as a place for mental patients. And 17 of those that was here was accidentally killed when the US dropped a bomb over this fortress by a mistake. Unfortunately there were no guides here as it was actually closed. However, I got permission to visit and make videos anyway. But for sure would love to have a guided tour with more information. Tunnels under the construction is connecting the buildings together, and I even found a place that must have been the craziest bar or club ever. Apparently it was closed down in 2015. Every time I move around Grenada I discover something new and hear funny stories. But now it's time to move back home as it's my turn to make dinner. I have invited Kylie for taco or tortilla tonight, and tomorrow we're gonna go out sailing with dinghies. This is one of the things I really love about being here. We can take these catamarans out for sailing as much as we want, and it's included in our stay here.
Okay, let's start sailing. trim the rudder. Oh.
As far as I could.
Thank you so much for watching, stay safe and healthy, and all the best. Cheers!